MzansiOz time. My name is Connie. If you're new here, you're very much welcome. So today's video is a follow-up video about the dubbed white Afrikaner, Amerikaner, as they call them in South Africa. So this video, it's about me giving you some background around this white Afrikaner immigration to America as refugee. And let's get to it.
Well, let's start here this evening. The flight scheduled to take the first group of Afrikaners to the United States will depart from the Tambo International Airport in the next half an hour or so. And they're part of U.S. President Donald Trump's resettlement program after an executive order in February. He claims Afrikaners face escaping government-sponsored race-based discrimination.
So to many, he was a dear leader. To most, a symbol of apartheid extremism. Eugene Terre'Blanche, white supremacist, founder of the Afrikaner Beweging, and the man who dreamed of a white-only folk. So in today's video, in today's debate over Afrikaner refugees, his ghost loom large, whether consciously or not. Some of the narratives echoes his old message. That is, white South Africans are now the oppressed.
1, 2, 3.
Baie dankie manne. Manne en vrouens. Baie dankie.
Terre'Blanche was born, Eugene Terre'Blanche was born in 1941. He was the product of apartheid era South Africa, charismatic, militant, and very much unapologetic racist. He founded the AWB in 1973. A paramilitia group that sought to preserve white rule at all costs. The AWB rejected integration, rejected democracy, and rejected reconciliation. That was echoed in my last video. In the last video, the last clip was the late Desmond Tutu, who was talking about forgiveness. So they rejected that. They saw themselves as God's chosen people, chosen to live in Africa and call themselves Afrikaner. Africa and Kana, that's that white supremacists. The vets, what's it called? The Beweging. All right? Okay. Now, he rejected that, and he saw it as a betrayal, and he saw it that they were betrayed by their own government when apartheid began to crumble.
spreekt met als gaai, heer boer. Zullen één als gaai, twee met mensen. Aan elkaar vastgesteken, ze sprekans met een speld.
Fast forward in 2025, white Afrikaners arrived in America, welcomed by Trump-era immigration policy. They claim is they've been persecuted in South Africa. But critics, including fellow South Africans, call it what it is. White flight, not political persecution, a rejection of equality, not a plea for safety.
These people that you are welcoming assume because they're white they should not experience crime. The people most affected by crime in South Africa happen to be black people that live in poverty. So as you open your doors and welcome people, and you're going to get a lot of information and disinformation from these people, please do keep that in mind. Oh, I also would like to say all the best and good luck to the Americans.
50 Afrikaners who fled to the US, calling themselves refugees. You are not refugees. You are just a case study of white flight dressed up as martyrdom. You're not escaping violence, you're escaping equality.
To many South Africans, their story hasn't changed. Crime affects everyone. Poverty, inequality, and broken justice system are the real crisis, not race. Not race-based persecution of white South African citizens.
And it is the group of Afrikaners who are currently at the OR Tambo International Airport preparing to jet off to the United States. They are part of US President Donald Trump's resettlement program after an executive order that was issued back in February of this year to resettle them as part of what he called, this is what President of the United States said, and I quote, was escaping government-sponsored race-based discrimination. We can talk...
Even the American Anglican Church has refused to assist these refugees. They stated that their case does not reflect the spirit of the late Desmond Tutu's legacy, the spirit of reconciliation, not retreat.
59 white Afrikaners from South Africa landed in Washington, D.C. today. The Afrikaners were the white minority group in South Africa that ruled during apartheid. The group was granted refugee status from the Trump administration, as the Trump administration has accused South Africa's government of racially discriminating against them. The South African government has denied this. This all comes as the administration as a whole has essentially halted all other refugee admissions. The Episcopal Church was ordered by the government to help resettle the Afrikaners, but today the church took a stand, terminated its relationship with the federal government, citing a moral opposition to resettling the white Afrikaners. Joining us now is the presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church, Bishop Sean Rowe. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was a 4-decades-old relationship across many administrations that ended today. Why did the classification of these immigrants as refugees cross a moral line?
Well, the reality is we can't be ourselves in the Episcopal Church and take the step of resettling white Afrikaners from South Africa. Our church has a long commitment to racial justice and reconciliation, and we have historic ties with the Anglican Church of South Africa. Desmond Tutu is a part of been a partner in this work for us. So we're just not able to take this step. It's not in line with anything that we're about. And it also saddens us to see that other refugees who are being denied entrance to the United States are people, brave people who've worked alongside of our military in Iraq and Afghanistan, now face danger. have been in camps for a long time and aren't being allowed in. And so this is just, the program no longer aligns with where we are as a church.
Segregation was a key aspect of our lives. You knew, I mean, that there were some who were in and the others were out. You had these separate exits, but then you went onto the same street and you breathed the same air.
So what we are witnessing is not new. The language of white victimhood, elevated to political strategy, is the same rhetoric once amplified by Terre'Blanche, Eugene Terre'Blanche. Today is being polished, repackaged, and flown across the Atlantic Ocean and Indian Ocean to America or to other countries.
Wat hier gewoon het en wit was, het het maklik gehad. Vrouens en kinders is by Bloukrans en Moordspruit met asgaai deurboor. Sodat een asgaai twee wit mense aan mekaar vasgesteek het soos bykans met 'n speld.
The fight to unite South Africa is far from over, but it won't be won by fleeing it. The legacy of apartheid demands accountability, not asylum. So what kind of future are we building when the ghosts of white supremacists are granted refugee status?
To all of the South African Afrikaans refugees that are coming to America soon, I just want to let you know, as someone whose wife is Afrikaans, who's been to South Africa multiple times, you're going to have a bad time. There's no white genocide happening in South Africa. You have crime that's happening as a result of racism-fueled generational economic inequality, the same thing that's happening in America. We're just a couple decades ahead of you on the unchecked capitalism timeline. But I have good news for you. You don't have to worry about the cheap exploited labor rising up against you anymore, because now that you're in America, you'll get to be the cheap exploited labor. If you were middle class or upper middle class in South Africa and you come to America, you're poor now. Like, really poor. You're not gonna have maids and gardeners and personal servants that you can pay $15 a day for. Now you get to be the cheap labor. But by all means, please come to America and experience the American capitalism that Elon Musk's been raving about to you. You'll probably love it. You know, what do I know? There's probably very little chance that you'll end up going back to South Africa in a year or two after realizing how overpriced and fucked up America is. I wouldn't even worry about that as a possibility. And if you think I'm being mean to these people because I think they're a bunch of racist, bigoted colonizers who wish they could go back to apartheid South Africa, it's just because I do think that. But to them, I say, welcome to the American dream. Please let me know when you've woken up from it.